Hello, hello, hello. Today we are going to cut some grass that we are going to use for silage. I guess I could get those implements out of the middle of the field before I start this. Silly, lazy farmer. Not parking things where they should go. Part of it is because that wagon is four-wheel, and I'm absolutely atrocious at backing up four-wheel implements. Just terrible. Alright, let's, not that I'm doing much better with the two-wheel. Let's try to get there. Can we get there? We're close. We're very close. There it is. Okay. So, even though this is kind of the neighbors now, we're going to put this right here. No, not that. Let's go with that. Perfect. I think I'm just gonna go right around the silo. We're just gonna drop it right here. If you were around the beginning of this series, I don't know, maybe I should do this. There's gonna be a lot of grass in this section if I don't do it. If you're around at the beginning of the series, you've seen me do this job a little bit. One thing I'm going to do to mix it up is instead of going up and down the field this way, we're going to go this way. Sorry for cutting the concrete here. I'm sure I'm ruining the immersion for some people, but we're doing our best. This tractor's not turning as sharply as I anticipated. My bad. So it gives, as you can see here, it gives a real nice cut. And we'll get the M going with the rake on it and get some nice windrows here. Not perfect, but it's not bad. Turn around there. I think I'm actually gonna just do this. I'll come back and finish that when we're all done. Let's try to get a nice straight. We'll pick those two little bushes there. And let's do it this way. Let's say B. So we'll shut it off, get a nice turnaround. And oops, that figures. Had all that turnaround space and still am a little crooked. Okay, there we go. We'll just get a nice cut going here. With the width of this mower, we should be able to get this done in a few minutes. And we can get it raked up and start getting some in the silo. I guess we should probably do the same thing on this end that I did on that end. Shut it off and turn around and then come back for a clean cut. So we don't own these trees, I don't think. Our property line is very close to them, though. It's right over here in this general area. Can I turn tighter to the left? That doesn't really make sense, but okay. Oh gosh. It does seem to turn tighter when the mower is off, which does make sense because you're not putting tension on the PTO then. I wonder how fast you can mow in real life. If there's any real farmers still watching, let me know how fast you can mow like this. I would guess it's probably not 12 mile an hour, but just curious. I guess it would also matter what you're cutting. If you're cutting something rough, then you probably would need to go slower. But if it's just grass, like this is just literally a field of grass, you could probably go 12 mile an hour. Okay, that's gonna be a little ugly, but we'll make do. We will make do. If we have time, I would love to take a load of silage up to the barn. Just, you know, every little bit, every time we do that, we can bump the money down a little bit, the debt down. I honestly, I know I keep saying this, but honestly, I swear there's going to be a day that I'm just literally going to haul back and forth. Just like cut our debt in half. But I've got a hired worker plowing our field, which is why the money's going down a little bit at a time. The hired worker's doing that so that you don't have to watch me do the same thing over and over. And then probably the next episode we'll plant soybeans over there. Need to keep an eye on the fuel in this tractor. It doesn't go down quite as fast as the 806, but I still don't want to be making trouble here. I think between the soybeans that we're going to do and selling another load or two of milk and selling several loads of silage, we're going to be able to finish this up here real soon. And I'm already thinking about another farm that I want to save. Saving all the farms. All the farms that I mismanaged by buying too much equipment at the start. Let's see if I can get this turned. So thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate people checking out the channel and watching the episodes. I know there are some folks that stick around longer than others, but I'm glad to have anybody who is interested in these, you know, the small farm style, and I really appreciate the support that I've gotten on this series and on this channel. I really enjoy this game. I'm sure you guys can tell from watching. It's a good. Frankly, it helps my blood pressure. It helps me calm down and relax. Where other games I play because they're intense, this game I play because it's not, and it helps me calm down. It's a good way to end the day after getting a bunch of other things done. I imagine a lot of you guys feel the same way. That's probably why you play the game. So, yeah, cheers to that. It's looking like this is going to come in at about 12 minutes to get this gig done. Which isn't terrible, I guess. I'm sure there are a lot of farmers who'd be happy to get a field this size done in 12 minutes in real life. I wonder how much we lose by me turning around instead of doing like I can't think of anything other to call it rather than just like a swirl. You know, start at the outside and just swirl your way into the middle. I don't. I mean, that's like how I grew up cutting grass. But I assume that with this, I mean, ultimately the rake is going to set up our windrows for us. But is it windrow or windrow? I should Google that because I say wind, but it might be windrows. Sorry, I don't know how people feel about me randomly whistling while I play this game. I feel like there's probably a crowd that finds it perfectly endearing and part of, what you might expect a farmer to do while he's out in the middle of the field just tootling along, cutting grass. And then there's another part of me that thinks, there's people that probably find it very annoying. Sorry if you're one who finds it annoying. Just whistling because I'm happy. Alright, we'll go ahead and... I think I could probably cheat a little bit more up here, but there is a buffer between these fields. I think if I had it to do all over again, I wouldn't... Well, obviously I wouldn't have bought a bunch of equipment that I wasn't going to use, but I probably would have purchased that field. It just feels like it goes along with this farm. I think with the next one, I might try to invest in a little bit more land and a little bit less. I don't know. Having good equipment is necessary. It's sort of a catch-22. If you don't have good equipment, you can't do much. But if you don't have a lot of land, you don't have any potential to make money. Like, if you have the equipment, you can just keep using the same fields over and over. If you have a lot of land, but you don't have the equipment to farm it, then you're kind of out of luck. Oh, okay, I lied. We're going to be in closer to, by the time I get that piece down there, it's going to be closer to 15 minutes. Man, I really thought I'd get more done, but raking is going to be just as much time, so I may have to just rake half of the field and start getting some of the windrows done, and we'll have to finish the job in the next episode. I did not think this was going to take this long. Sorry, guys and gals, fans, friends, frenemies. Wouldn't that be hilarious if there was like, well, I mean, I guess there are farm sim beefs if you're if you're a member of any of the modding groups. There definitely are. Oh my goodness, isn't that hilarious? Like, I would say grown men arguing with each other, but I mean, not to throw shade at people I don't know, but some of them aren't grown men. They're basically kids that make mods and then steal mods off of each other. So, but I don't personally, that I know of, have any farm sim beefs. Thank goodness. I don't need that kind of drama in my life. I don't want no drama. Sorry, that was terrible. I'll never do it again. I wonder what the Venn diagram is of people who would get that reference and also would care to watch Farming Simulator. I don't even remember who sang that. I don't want no drama. Another thing I need to Google after this. Goodness. All this Googling getting in the way of my creation of silage. We're gonna have, I bet, I should look at how much silage we have in there before we start putting this in. Silage and grass, because it's gonna be crazy. I hope we don't run out of space. I actually don't know the capacity. I think it's something insane, like 1 million. Alrighty. 766 job is complete. Why did I leave the... See, that's just poor. I should do better. Should not have left the combine there. He says as he leaves. Another tractor in the middle of nowhere. I need to remember to check the fuel on this. First step, right? Every farmer knows. First step, check the oil. Wait, what's this? What's the crouch button? We're going to pretend we're checking the oil. Actually, would the oil... Yeah, I don't know. And check the fuel, which would be right up on top. Okay, we're good. We're good on fuel. So we want to rake the outside in. And since it... Wow, this thing hums along pretty good. Okay, so we want to rake the outside in. I think we just turn it on. Yeah, we just... Oh gosh, the steering on this thing. I mean, I'm not faulting the mod. It's great, but... Yeah, so remember what I said about the outside in? We want to rake the outside in. Just like this. I think if we put our right tire in the middle of this windrow, near the edge, maybe closer to the edge, yeah. Put this right tire out here. This should do it for us. We'll do one all the way around, and then we will go up and down from the bottom of the field up. We're just flying, dude. We are cooking. Speedy windrow making. Oh man, this is gonna be so much. This whole field is gonna be a lot of grass. I have to whistle just to compete with the birds, you know? They're out here making noise. So, funny story. Not really funny, but just like day in the life kind of stuff. The other night, I was like, alright, I'm going to do a time lapse. And I was so pumped. I was like, I'm going to start a new series. It's going to be a time lapse series. And it's going to be really good. I'm going to use vintage equipment. And I'm going to use different kind of music. And I'm going to compete with the time lapsers. Like, let's go. Let's do this. So I set everything up. I muted the desktop. I recorded 30 minutes on West by Wisconsin, my dairy farm there, using old John Deere equipment. Had a blast. An absolute blast. I played a half an hour. I got done. I took it to my editing software and said, I want to crunch this down 300%. I added text. I added music. I clicked render. And the thing pegged my GPU. Or my CPU, I should say. Pegged it. The thing was like... So... but it said, it was something like 35 minutes or something. And I was like, all right, you know, I'll take a walk. I'll go do something else for 35 minutes. And when I come back, I will be ready to go. So I come back and it's done, and I did the wrong file type. So the next day, I was doing real work at my desk, and I was like, all right, I'll just run it again in the background. And I wasn't 3 minutes into it, and my PC was like again, and I thought, you know what? I only get so much time at my computer at night. The last thing I want to do is sit here, play for a half hour, and then peg my PC for 40 minutes for a series like that. Like if I could do it and leave it like overnight or something, if I thought I could do it like that, I would. But I just get afraid with the amount of heat that a PC makes. I get afraid leaving it to go do. I mean, like when I said I went for a walk, I didn't really go like out of the house or anything. I just got up and stretched my legs and did something else for a little bit and came back to it. I'm just afraid if I did that, there would be an issue with the health of the PC. I would ruin the CPU or something. All for what? You know, for a farm sim series? Are you kidding me? Like, love you guys, but I'm not breaking my good computer for this. So, bummer, you know? Hate to put it that way, but that's just the way life goes. So, alright. I think I can do this. This is not going to be perfect, but it'll be decent. We'll just roll this around the end. This is one of those things that in real life is a little bit tricky, because when you turn like this, you don't want the rake to come up over your wheel. So you have to be real careful with it. But this should be good. Look how meaty these windrows are. There's so much grass here. Oh my goodness. Alright. We're going to go ahead and bring this one back. This will be a smaller windrow. It'll still be fine. I mean, it's not going to be small. And we'll just go back and forth maybe one or two more times. And then I'm going to go ahead and start with the... Let's see here. This is the wrong way to go, but I'm going to do it. Okay, here we go. So now this is going to come into the left. Then I'll turn around on my left and pull it back on itself. We'll do one coming down, and then I'll pick up one wagon load, and we'll be done. I'll show you one wagon load getting into the silo, and then we'll finish the job in the next episode. I just feel bad not showing people like what we're actually doing. I would imagine most people that are sticking around have done not only this job, but probably something, you know, many others very much like it. Probably in the game and in real life. But alright, when we get here to the end, we're going to hit V. We're just going to park this up. Okay, nice. The worker's almost done with this field, which we're going to plant, hopefully, in the next episode, or the one that follows. I think I'm just going to use this tractor. I don't feel like tracking down the 806, and it doesn't handle quite as well as this one, oddly enough. I know the fuel's getting down on this tractor, but we should be able to do a good bit. We should certainly be able to get our first load. So here's how this thing works. So, you know, you lower this down, and it's going to pick up grass, and the grass is going to go into the back. And once that back wagon is full, we put it into the silo and it ferments in the silo. Eventually we get it out. It's silage. We either feed it to the cows or, oh man, I'm gonna have to like, am I missing half of the windrow? A little bit. I have to like drive on it with this tractor. That seems not great. Oh, I'm an. Okay. So you're supposed to do that. Again, never. I never blame the modders because it's almost always my incompetence. Okay, so once you actually properly unfold it, then you are not driving on the windrow anymore, and you're out here. And maybe coming up this hill was a bad idea. 1 mile an hour. Okay, well, I didn't anticipate the horsepower issue, I guess. There's a reason to use the other tractor then. Okay, anyways, so you go along like this and fill it up, and we'll go dump it into the silo. I've taken so many screenshots of this. I know I don't need another one, but I just always think this looks so cool. It's such a nice setup, and I always want to. What does this do, 21,000 liters? We might make it almost back. We'll get one of those big O windrows down at the end. That'll do us in. Okay, this is always tricky, these corners. Even if I go casual, nice easy turn, when I'm mowing, it's still tough. This is not what we would call the authentic perspective. Here, let me switch it up. Well, that was a bad time to switch it up because this is going to be hard to get this right. But this is a little more, first person, chugging along. How'd I do on the turn? Yeah, I missed a chunk. It's going to be full right about the corner. No, it'll do this turn. Okay, and it's important to stop when it's full because for whatever reason with this particular setup, it will keep eating grass. Okay, this could be interesting. Can I get in there? I can. Thank you. With that setup, it'll keep eating grass even though your thing is full. So you're just burning grass that you're not going to get. All right, before I dump this in here, we're going to double check. So we go here, and we go here. And scroll over, and so right now there's 220,000 liters of silage proper, and there's only 5,000 of grass. So it's almost all converted. Perfect timing for us to dump in 22,000 liters. Oh my goodness, gang. I am so excited you got to see this process. I'm a little bit, not going to lie, I'm a little bit sad that it took so long. I really thought I'd be able to do this faster. But what we'll do is we'll pick up here next time and we'll finish raking the field and we'll get the grass, and hey, maybe, just maybe, we'll have time to plant some soybeans as well. Thanks so much for being here. I will catch you in the next episode. Bye for now.